There's a tapas bar in Budapest, and we had a date night there once. Second time we went there on purpose because we just loved that food on the first date. And since then, time to time, I just recreate the menu we usually had, and I call it date night dinner. So it is tenderloins on an onion bed, actually, with whole peppers, salt, garlic powder, and originally it has melted cheese on the top, but because I use cheese on other part of the menu, I skipped that. Okay, let's see the next. Little mushroom heads cooked in red wine, spices of course, and very important part is the chopped parsley, what just put every food to the next level. Sweet paprikas grilled on olive oil, and I forgot to make a video about it, but this is where I put the cheese, use the cheese. When the paprikas are ready, we just put the cheese on the top and it will melt right away. You know, I always try to be creative about these side dishes, that we don't eat always potatoes or rice. So sometimes I make some kind of dinner rolls, what we usually don't have for breakfast. For example, this time I made baguettes, as we always ate baguettes at the tapas bar. So last but not least, this melted sheep cheese, what got some walnuts. And there was a phase in my childhood when I ate melted sheep cheese on bread for every single dinner. And I always read the Garfield the Cat comic book with it. Funny memories, huh? So my gluten-free baguettes turned out so well, and however this dish is not the quickest and simplest one, sometimes it's good to make something special even without any special occasion. Am I right? Usually I make pizza every Friday, but this time my older boy asked me to try something new, and he mentioned that we could try pizza rolls, so I gave it a try. You know, gluten-free dough is very sensitive and harder to manage moving before baking, but it was the work because look, it looks so good and it tasted so good. And you know, for pizza I always make some kind of salad, or at least I just eat simple green salad with some salad dressing because it's very good for your health. You know, it's carnival season, which means baking donuts. In my home country and around us in our neighbor countries, it's very common to bake donuts, but not the American ones with the hole in the middle, but this fluffy, sometimes it's filled with jams, puddings or other stuff. And of course it wasn't a simple donut baking time for me, because I wanted to try new gluten-free versions, because it really is good when it's fluffy, and with gluten-free flours it's harder to achieve that consistency. And one of the things that I learned that is very important to bake the perfect donuts is, for example, a certain temperature for the oil. It shouldn't be very hot because it will burn the outside surface and the inside it will be still raw. And the other thing is to put lid onto the pan for the first 2 minutes. And yes, I succeeded, so my first traditional gluten-free donuts turned out so good. One with peach jam and the other is with chocolate covering. Can't stop, won't stop. I made other donuts as well. Though it is not the traditional one, it has applesauce in the dough. I think I can tell that this is our favorite type of donut. It is sweet and sour at the same time, so if you bake gluten-free, it is a very good option and version. pies, savory, salty pies. I make it at least once a month as well, and this time I thought to try something new. You know what is a pie, but it's not that big round pie what you have to slice up. Never tried make handy pies, and we are so blessed that here in Portugal we can have store-bought gluten-free puff pastry. I know there are a lot of recipes on the internet, but to be honest, I have so many things already on my plate. Pun intended. I'm so glad when I just can pull out something from the fridge and I can make a quick and nutritious dinner for my family. So as you can see, I just made a bechamel type of filling with ham, egg and cheese, and I made these little cute squares, and boys loved it and they said it is much more better, you know, than the big circle pie. And as usual, I had some salad as well. It's called Sicilian salad, and unfortunately I ran out of purple onion because this is the authentic ingredient, and I added some green leaves as well. I am experimenting for years now to be able to make good, fluffy, delicious, gluten-free pastries, because, you know, I could buy whatever flour mix in the store, but I don't want to put unnecessary thing into my food. You know, as I said, gluten-free flours are very hard to deal with, so you can imagine how over the moon I was when finally I could make these wonderful bread rolls, cheesy bread rolls. You know, it's such a hard phase when you are full of ideas, but you can start these projects and make these ideas alive because, you know, #budget. I always try to use this time for good, so planning everything from A to Z when time comes and the money hits the bank account, you know. I just have to hit the order button and go and grab things what I need. So what are we planning here right now? If you have seen my other videos, you know that I'm a farmer girl, like I used to be, and I will be. You know, this is the in-between times when we are looking for our forever farm, and right now I don't have any garden. And although we want to move from here next summer, there's no way that I don't plant anything until next summer, because I already missed the whole 2023 because of moving, and I am missing it so much. This will be my very first time that I am experiencing balcony gardening, and you may think that, oh, it is so much easier to plan for such a short time, but not. It is so much harder, especially because I have to think about to be able to move my future plants the easiest way. I want to have a lounge area in this big balcony, a comfy sitting area, and all the plants what loves and need direct sunshine. What we are really brainstorming about is that how to put this little house what you have seen, because we didn't buy it. It is very good for storage, but if I'd buy it, I wouldn't put it here on the balcony. So my husband came with the idea to bring it down next to the car, and with it my pottery area and the compost area would be down next to the car where it is kind of shady. This is what compost and potting area need, so we can have all this balcony for ourselves and for our ideas. I have been always planting on a big area, so it is kind of hard for me to manage planning plans for such a little place. So I will using every little inch available, and I will be focusing on vertical planting, clumping planting and multi-sowing. Also, this is this weird balcony what faces totally south. It will be very good for the sunflower plants, and I'm planning to have some flowers here as well because it is totally glass, so I can see it all the time and it will make me happy. I wanted to see the typical wintry scene by the ocean where what is said to have wonderful red and yellow flowers what only grows this time. Unfortunately, we went to the wrong place, but we ended up at South Nazaré, what was just wonderful. The weather was glorious, the sand was warm thanks to the unusual mild and warm January, and as we were driving home and went from the south part to the north part, we saw that what wonderful opportunities are there, so we definitely will come back for a whole day.